Welcome to issue 332 of Critical Encounters, a podcast of Marvel Champions, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games.
Here, we take a good look at that most critical piece of the game, the conventions.
We'll discuss those poorly understood characters, unfairly labeled villains, and their various plans to shape humanity and benefit the planet.
As well as those so-called heroes, hint on thwarting them.
I'm one of your hosts, Steve, and we are doing our convention recap show. So I got a whole crew here with me. So I'm going to run through the introductions. Scott is here. Hi, Scott.
Hello.
Daniel.
Hi.
Bill is here.
Hey, everybody.
Maka has joined us.
Greetings and salutations.
Okay, now we get into the folks that are lesser known or don't join us as much. You heard at the very start, Ken. Hi, Ken.
Hey, Steve. Hey, guys.
Chris or D. Vader. Chris 2. I guess we're going to have to call you Chris 2.
That works for me. Happy to be here.
Okay. And the masked hero. We let a hero into the lair.
I really appreciate that. How are we all doing tonight?
Hey, Ryan.
Doing good. And Seth, otherwise known as Regal Games TV. Hey, how's it going?
Hello, all my villain friends.
I don't think I missed anybody. So, yeah, let's get to it. We're going to talk all about Con of Heroes. We are maybe 3 days back from that. 2 days for some of us, I guess. It is Wednesday after the con. And how was it? Everyone have a good time? I mean, except for poor Scott, who didn't get to go.
Indeed. I'm living vicariously at the moment.
Yeah.
I thought you invited us all here to rub it in, Scott.
I had such a
That's
good
it.
time.
Yeah, you know what? Since Scott didn't get to attend, maybe, Scott, you should, moderate for us. And you can ask all the questions and, since you're not going to have any of the answers.
Yeah, since I didn't get to have all the fun, I'm going to do all the
people
work.
out, Scott. So we're not all talking at once.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Sounds fair.
Scott,
Snap
before
to it.
you ask us all questions individually, I have one for everybody. How many of us are now sick?
Oh, I am. Steve.
Okay.
Not me.
Negative.
I dodged
I'm
beat.
okay. Still have a voice.
That
Dang.
mask does so much good work for me. It keeps me very safe.
Yeah.
I just have the sniffles and they're kicking in. And I did room with Spee, who went home pretty sick. So I did, I think I got away okay, considering.
Beat it.
Yeah,
He
not
joined
bad.
us.
No,
Has anybody
pretty
checked
good.
on him? Is he?
He's alive.
He's still kicking today. All right. Good. Yeah. Daniel, you're sick?
I would, yeah, sort of.
What?
Not, whatever. I'm not. It's not as my usual con crud bad, but
Okay.
It's,
Good.
it's not that Ebola that's going around, is it?
it might be. We'll find out in a couple days.
I thought we kept that safely locked up in the lab.
There's the hantavirus. Been hanging out with some rats.
None of us were in the lair except for Scott, so he could have done anything while we were gone.
It was probably just the chlorine poisoning.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. A new location, right? We were not at the Game Center. We were at the Doubletree in Bloomington, which is not the same as any other suburb, I guess, although they all look the same to me. But Daniel, you told me that it's important to make a distinction. So I'm making the distinction.
It's very important.
Yeah. A new place. What you guys have first impressions of the hotel? Let's not talk gaming space, just the hotel in general.
Now, Lexicon, you have to tell us when to speak. You call in people in whatever order. you
Yeah,
want.
do that.
All right, let's start with Seth. Why don't you tell us your take on the new venue? Let's talk about the hotel and the space that you all were in.
So I think the hotel was maybe 2 or 3 times as big as the other location we were at, the other Doubletree. This one had almost like a full-on attached convention center almost, I would call it. They had a ton of event rooms. And then I don't think I left the hotel for any reason. I don't think I had to go any. I think I came inside when I got there on Thursday, and I walked outside for the first time when we left on Sunday morning.
That's wild.
That's a big difference from last year, right? Where we had to walk over
Yes.
from the hotel over to the space. And the space had different hours too, right?
Yeah, so essentially we had basically free reign of the space as soon as we got up in the morning until we just wanted to be done whenever at night. And then I'm sure more people will talk about this, but the way the rooms were set up is they basically surrounded the space, and another group from Indianapolis that came. They could basically walk out of their room onto a little step down porch and then go right to the gaming. It was literally 10 steps away. It was pretty incredible.
That's very incredible. Did you feel like it changed how much or how easy it was like connect with the other folks at the con and get games in, being in this kind of different space and environment at the hotel?
Yeah, 100%. Because you could hop on the various Discord servers and ping people, or if you know their phone numbers, you could text them and be like, "Hey, I'm at the big area where all the people are," or "Hey, I'm up in the quiet room." We'll talk about more later too, I'm sure. Or, "Oh, I'm over at the restaurant," or "I'm over at the little convenience store thing," and all of those things were literally 20 steps from each other. I mean, it was great.
You could even say, like, you could say, Maka would say, "I'm in my room," and then he'd open the door and he's looking at the table, right? Like,
Yeah.
you could hit him you could throw a card at him and hit him, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. That sounds amazing.
It was wonderful.
We could like store our stuff in people's rooms. Like Mecca was like the we were like, "Hey Mecca, we're going to lunch. Can we throw our stuff in your room?" And he just crack open the door and we toss our stuff in there. That was perfect.
It was great.
Didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
it.
That's pretty different, right? So who all took a lot of stuff this year to the con, out of curiosity? Like, who packed all the encounter sets and stuff?
I did.
As did I. Those of us that drove.
So, Maka, did you feel like that was also a big benefit, being in the hotel, that you didn't have to lug that back and forth from like the game center or whatever the venue was?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think there was only once or twice that I'm like, I ran in to get something. I think our 2 a.m. Juggernaut skirmish game was just all right, I'll go grab those cards real quick, and it was nice to just have a 5-second walk to the room to grab them and come back out again.
the 2 a.m. Juggernaut skirmish game. We upgraded from Rhino.
Yeah, from Rhino to Juggernaut. So Ken, what was your take? Any other hot takes other than those we've already heard from our wonderful collaborators?
Well, it was my first time at the con, so I don't really have much of a basis of comparison. But it was a huge space. It was not uncomfortable at all. Ryan referred to the quiet rooms, which I think a bunch of us here took advantage of, and I really appreciated. It kind of could get you away from the large space, and it was a little bit cooler in there, a little bit of a smaller, more contained space. So a lot of options and a lot of places to take advantage of all the different things that the hotel had there, for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so the space itself was a giant convention hall, let's call it. Like probably like three stories or more until you got to the ceiling, and there were like skylights, so you got all this natural light and everything.
It was
And there was
technically an atrium.
atrium, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And lots of tables, more tables than we needed for the number of people. You could spread out. And then kind of tacked on the back was more like an L shape where there was some round tables, and they were going to play, if you wanted to do epic stuff and the round tables that wasn't the con scheduled epic, you could go back there. And then there's this shoulder height wall, and then behind the wall was the pool, the hotel pool. And there was a soccer convention for little kids in town. So every night the pool was full of all these like 8 to 12-year-olds splashing around, kicking the chlorine up. And did anybody get wet?
Awesome.
Is my question.
We got started getting splashed on Friday night. And
Yeah,
it wasn't bad Thursday because nobody was in town yet Thursday, and it was all quiet and cool. And then as soon as like Friday evening at like 7:30 hit, it was madness over there. And we were sitting at literally the row right in front of the wall. Like to my back was the pool wall. And
Yeah, I knew better.
it was bad news. It randomly just kind of started raining, and I was like, okay, we gotta move. Like,
We gotta move, yeah. Did anybody play Deadpool pool aspect in the pool? Is my real question. No,
Nobody died in the pool.
Okay.
I had an awesome view of the pool though, because I was on second floor.
Oh, I know about the quiet rooms.
Yeah, so upstairs on the second floor, you could go into these quiet rooms and then come out, and there's this little balcony that would overlook that atrium space where everyone was. So you were never, it's not like you went to the quiet rooms as this retreat away from it all necessarily. But the quiet room had these big round tables in it. So like the tables themselves were not necessarily suited for our particular brand of nerddom. But they were great for the other games that some of us played, like Skull and the Gang and things like that. But they were nice, big, open spaces. In fact, I feel like the quiet room is the size of FFG's game center. Where it was kind of
wow, that's really big.
Yeah, no, it was a good size, and we had a couple of them up there. So like the total space of the two rooms that we had access to were about that same size, I feel. And they weren't
Like
super
big
like
meeting rooms.
well populated. And they were 20 degrees cooler and
Less
they
humid.
were fantastic, less humid.
Yeah.
They were,
Let's see.
the overall the space and like the generosity of the people giving us that space, like there's almost no comparison to what been happening at the Game Center the last couple of years. So, but if you stay in the hotel, like I guess Seth did, never left, you're paying hotel prices for food and drink and stuff like that. But
Yeah, that's true.
and
I mean, and that being said, the prices really weren't that terrible.
no, there was still Minnesota pricing,
Right.
so
There was lots of places within walking distance and stuff as well if you didn't want to stay in the hotel the whole time.
yeah, so we had some Burger King meals. There was a 0.3 miles away, Chris, was the brewery.
Yeah, something like that.
A lot of people went to,
Yep.
and that
Wooden
brewery
Hill.
has seen a lot of gamer nerds in their lives, and so
Yeah.
they were ready for us, and they had good food. I just think the experience, the space, Steve, your original question, like about the space, it was fantastic.
Not a problem.
Absolutely
opposite.
fantastic. And I had a room kind of like Chris's. Mine was across from the pool, but like open the door, make my 8 nanosecond walk, and I'm at those tables that Ryan put a picture of in our thing that hopefully, maybe, Steve, this can be the picture that is the issue.
Oh, yeah.
Picture.
If you're listening to this through podcast, you could go check out the YouTube. I'm going to have all the various photos that everybody took scrolling during
Awesome.
the YouTube
Great.
play of this. So if you're
Great.
interested in photos, you can find them there. Okay, that's the space. Let's talk gameplay. Scott,
All right, here we are. Thursday night. It's like after 8 o'clock p.m. This is the convention center. Behind that wall there is a pool. There's an Epic location back there for Epic. There's a ton of tables. And these rooms with balconies are where people are staying so they can look out over the convention. All right.
Okay, that's the space. Let's talk gameplay. Scott, I totally said you were going to do this, and I just keep taking over.
You just keep taking over.
I can't help it.
That's right. We are going to talk gameplay. I'm curious. I want to hear from D Vader. Tell us a little bit about highlights of gameplay from the convention. What was your favorite game? What did you play?
Favorite game is a hard one. I loved the first game. Well, I'll bookend it. The first game I played was with y'all as the Epic Thunderbolt. So I was the first on the proper day of the convention. That was a really fun way to kick it off with that quasi-epic multiplayer that we were doing. And the last game I played was at 12:30 in the morning with my roommate, Mr. Self-Destruct. I roped him into playing it because it was going to be my 30th game of the convention. And so it was a very late night, playing very fast, very loose, getting beat up very quickly. But those are both great highlights from the start and end of the con for me.
So, Ryan, did you have any like specific things that you wanted to play coming in and that you were able to play? Like, where they're like, I know people love to play like Oops All Vision, right? Like Boom Guy loves to do that. Or it's like, we're going to play Iron Man versus Iron Man. And we kind of have a lot of new sets and ways to play now. So was there anything coming in that you were excited to play because it's the convention and you have all these people here and you can do kind of these fun, crazy, zany things?
Yeah, well, I guess first of all, I did actually see that Boom Guy was a part of a 4 Visions versus the Vision Leader. So that actually did happen. I wasn't a part of it, but I saw it across the room. I wanted to play a lot of skirmish games. I figured that would be a way to get in a lot of games. And that was really helpful, like 8:30 to like 10. Just do only skirmish games, let your brain wake up. But then I guess the only thing I was really looking to do was just to try to every deck I brought originally was a hero that I was kind of uncertain about in an aspect that I hadn't played them in yet, and it made me fall in love with Protection She-Hulk. But the only so that was a good thing. That was just kind of getting games in. And then I had my custom scenario, which I think I thought I played like 12 times. Turns out I only played 6, but it felt like 12 times because I was talking so much.
Well,
is that the
it is 12
area?
if you're always playing
Yes.
skirmish mode, right? So.
Yeah, no, I don't think any of those were skirmish mode, but yeah, definitely. I
Each
learned the
regular
lesson
game is 2
of
skirmish games.
yes, I learned the lesson that let the other players read the cards because I know what they all do, but nobody's going to know what's going on if I'm just like, oh yeah, this is what this does. Just like go on. And then I got to play the epic multiplayer. Well, I played 2 with you guys for the Thunderbolts, but then got to do the epic Loki, which is not a scenario I love, but I definitely liked it in the con space.
Yeah, if we can back up to Ryan's Count Nefaria,
Mhm.
that was a ton. That was great. I played it 2 times. I had to go get my little book on the games because I can't remember. It's only been 2 days and I've already forgotten. But I do totally remember that Count Nefaria totally took out War Machine and just killed Bill.
Yep.
Yeah, like round 3 or something. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it was real early. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
And
trying to
anyone
be
who watches
cute.
our Twitch streams knows that Bill's always like, I have 2 hit points. I'm totally fine. Well, he wasn't this time. So.
Not against the Fario, no.
No.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games too. Was playing Ryan's scenario. That was
Well,
really
good.
fun. Enjoyed
We
it.
did-
That was a good
We
memory.
did go on to win it too. We were like, well,
Yeah,
2
and
turns
once it
later,
gone-
yeah.
Once I was
Yeah.
gone, it was fine. You know.
Yeah, it
I
was
liked
easier.
watching Kennedy Hawk do like 40 damage in a turn. That was fun.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't mind if you break my scenario. I want to watch this. This is fun.
That's awesome. I love that there's so much custom content. I know there were other people like NDR brought some custom content too, right? He brings the Mr. Negative set and so other pieces like that. It's so cool to be able to bring that to the convention and share that with people. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. What other custom scenarios were there?
Yeah, I'm not usually very big on custom. I know Daniel loves it. He plays it with us on Tuesday nights. He'll play different ones, but somebody whipped out a bunch of different heroes, and I picked up Space Ghost, and I played that
Oh.
one.
That's
And
amazing.
And I
a
loved it.
throwback.
It was. I want to play that again. And
Did you
I
play
didn't
in
know
Coast to Coast?
No, I didn't play Coast to Coast. But I played from one coast. Yeah, no, it
Was
was.
that
it was fun.
was that Larry and Eric?
Yeah, when Larry and Eric came up,
Oh,
Larry
yeah.
whipped out like he had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He has a bunch.
He played as
Yeah.
Ash. And Ken, who'd you play with? I forgot who you had. And Eric
Yeah.
was playing with. Who'd you have?
I played with Green Arrow.
Oh yeah,
and
you were
then,
Green
yeah.
Arrow.
Oh, fun.
Eric
And,
had a Batman one, I think, right?
Yeah, but I really liked the one I played. So I kind of got turned around playing a really fun scenario and a really fun hero. So kind of changed my mind on playing with custom content. That was fun.
Steve, we did have a Critical Encounters fan favorite show up to the con, which was the Dung
who's that?
Beetle.
Yes.
The Dung Beetle.
Dung Beetle.
The Dung Beetle was there. We played 2 games against the Dung Beetle. The first one we ended up scooping because I think Daniel and I died on like back-to-back activation, which was not great.
It was a pretty crappy game.
Yeah, it didn't go very
Yuck.
well. I was playing a Black Widow deck for that one. Did not go the way I wanted it to. And then I switched to Wonder Man, probably my most played hero of the con. And I think we crushed it the second time we did it. I think we
We did pretty well.
It.
We knew what we were doing.
We won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played the Hulk, a deck built by your friend Seth, whose name always escapes me. Brian? No.
Brian, that's right.
Brian, yes. So I'm grateful to him. I hope if he listens to this, he hears my gratitude because it was great to go Hulk against Dung Beetle. It seemed thematically appropriate.
It was pretty funny. Couple immovable objects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was fun.
Now there was some epic Thunderbolts, right? Can anybody who here participated in?
All right. Thank you everyone for being here. We're excited to be here. Just a few things, and then I'll let you go back to your game.
So that was fun.
Now there was some epic Thunderbolts, right? Can anybody who here participated in the giant Thunderbolts game?
I think we all did, didn't we?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
part of
Yeah.
one twice.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So somebody tell me about that.
Let's make
Mako,
Mika do it.
why don't you? Yeah, Mako, why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
I thought, Scott, both of us were like, let's have Chris do it.
All right. So the point of it was to have 3 tables. So there are 10 of the Thunderbolt encounter sets that they gave us as part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then the back of the pack ones with the wave. So the theory being, well, we could have 10 Thunderbolts on the table itself if we had 9 players playing. Can't really do that at one table. So what we did was we had 3 tables of 3 each. Each table has one per player Thunderbolt, and then there's the one tucked under Justice Like Lightning. And, for the most part, it was kind of self-contained to your own table, but at various times it calls for the thunderbolts to move, to get shifted around places, and so it would get shifted around to another table, and then your thing might bring them back or something like that, or they might get pulled out of the Justice Like Lightning, and then whoever's got the most damage on it from all three tables gets tucked under, and a new one comes tucked out. And then Citizen B had a global health pool, and then Steve came up with an idea to have a separate little special encounter deck that included all the encounter sets that had Thunderbolt minions in them that weren't the big beefy ones for the Thunderbolt scenario. And
good.
if you didn't have a minion underneath you, or if you had a hazard icon or something, you drew from that deck instead. And that just added to the fun, and pulling out these little Thunderbolts here and there, and because they have guard, it takes you longer to get through. I played in the first one, not the second one. It took us a round or two, I think, to get into the hang of things, because you kind of have to wait, especially in the villain phase, for everybody to get done and get on the same page. And everybody's just kind of used to going at their own pace and not paying attention to the table. So it took us a couple of turns, I think. I think by turn 3 we were in a pretty good place. And it was chaotic. It was as chaotically fun as I was hoping it would be.
Yeah, it definitely was chaotic. I think after game 2, we came up with the idea that any card that would make a Thunderbolt move would be reserved until the end of the villain phase at the same timing when you'd move one to the Justice Like Lightning backup location. So you would resolve whatever else is on the side scheme or the card, and then at the end of the villain phase, it's like, okay, who has a card that makes them move? All right, they move. One goes to the backup. Okay, now we move on with the next round. And I think that might remove a little bit of the chaos and not the fun chaos. So
that makes sense.
Stop and go.
Although it was really fun to be like in the middle of the villain phase, and just before the villain activates against me, table 3 is like, here's Atlas. Like, oh man. Part of that was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was.
But it did make timing kind of so arbitrary that it was scary. But Steve, I think you did a great job with that. It was a lot of fun. I didn't talk to anyone that said otherwise. So good work.
Yeah, and even though, like you said, we kind of had to wait for maybe everybody to finish, it wasn't a slog at all, because it didn't take very long. I mean, you're talking less than probably a minute or two for the other tables to finish up their round.
Mhm.
So it kept going at a good pace, and it was a lot of fun. You weren't waiting forever for the actions to take place. So I appreciated that. And I liked how, so in our very first game, I OTK'd Matrock, and he like popped out on turn 2. He shot out. It's like, where did I got rid of him?
Having
He
6
bounced right
copies
back
of
into
Down
me.
But Not Out instead of 2 made it really fun for the Thunderbolts. Just kept coming back and back and back and back.
Yeah, we thought we had it handled, and here they come again, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that, Steve. That was good.
There was a fair amount of interaction between too, because you kind of had to pay attention to which Thunderbolt was going to have the most damage of all the 3 games, and kind of you could plan around that to make sure if there's one that you didn't want to come out or something like that. So you kind of had to pay attention to the other groups as well, even throughout the turns, which I thought was cool.
That is cool. So now, Seth, was this your first time playing Thunderbolts?
It was not my first time. I did, however, so I went with a group of 3. Daniel already brought up my friend Brian, who gave him the Hulk deck, but we also travel with our friend Alex, and he comes every year with us, and it was his first time playing Thunderbolts. And
oh boy, I didn't know that.
He was at your table, Steve. He was the Magic player.
Okay.
And I can only imagine the way he feels about that scenario right now. And I'm gonna say, hey, we'll do the real one, and you'll be like, oh, it's a lot simpler than what happened.
I did not
to me
know
at the
that
con.
it was his. I don't think I knew it was his first time. That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure that memory will stick with him for a while.
Good. I'm glad.
Pushed him in the deep end of the pool.
That's right. Jump.
Yeah, you did. Now, speaking of firsts, right? The con has a lot of new stuff, right? Because the folks, Dan and all the other folks who are organizing it, they created some custom scenarios and campaign and all this kind of stuff. Tell me a little bit about that, because I don't know anything. Like, I know there was like Hawkeye and some other heroes, right? And you were supposed to bring some of your favorite Nemesis sets or obligation cards or something, but I don't really know. Who wants to explain that to me? Maybe Ryan? Do you want to tell me, or maybe Bill?
I guess what I'll say is pretty brief. Is I didn't really interact with this at all. I know some people had a lot of fun with the Hawkeye thing, but this was the first year where I didn't feel like the con provided custom content was really a thing that you needed to interact with as much. There wasn't the focus put onto it.
Correct.
Yeah, so we
So
we tried it. We tried Spider-Man. Ken and I played with Eric and Larry, and we ended up being up till like 2:00 in the morning. And I don't know what time. What did we start, like 11? We were
It was a long
slogging.
game. Yeah,
It
you guys
was a
were still
long
going.
one. Yeah, I was tired.
That was the Space Ghost Green Arrow game.
Yeah, and plus we were all using like
Yeah.
things we hadn't played with before, so Spider-Man was a little bit more of a slog. But then the next day I played against Hawkeye, and I was a little bit worried because the table to the right of me, I think Mecca was in on that, and maybe even Steve. Dan was over there, and you guys, he had some crazy setup that was going on, and really, you guys kind of scared me. But we decided to go ahead and play at our table, and that's the game that me and Daniel, we decided to play with precons. And so I gave him a choice of which precon he wanted to play. He ended up, Daniel, you took Nebula?
I took Nebula.
Yeah, and I was playing with Spider. And then the other two people at the table, they were playing with their deck. I think
I was there with that one too.
D. Vader and Ken, I think
Yeah,
you guys were in on that one too. Yeah, but we ended up beating it with not a whole lot of problem, I think. So the Hawkeye one seemed like it was
and we had
balanced.
heard like these horror stories of people getting killed by Hawkeye in round 1, and we were like, we must have cheated.
I don't know. I don't know
It's
what you're
just a
talking
guy with a
about.
bow and arrow.
Yeah.
So what it
So
was,
tell me about the scenario.
it was Civil War standard. It was Civil War style. Okay. So they provided, I think you had a Spider-Man on one side and a Hawkeye on the other, and
Yep.
then their kits. And I think those were the only two, right?
No,
That-
and then there was
yeah.
also
Oh.
the aspect cards, and there
Yeah.
was
Yeah, but I mean, like those were the only two like leaders that were provided.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They were the
right.
only
Yeah.
two leaders. Yeah.
And then there were, they had scenario cards, and then there were the 4 aspects, which are effectively modular sets, but have like an aspect flavor. So there was a justice, a protection, or whatever. And they start with
And
an
each
environment.
of those had a card that started in play.
Yeah, like an environment in
like,
play that kind of defined it.
Yeah, it's like
right?
the Justice one, for example, resolved every special
Boost effect
boost twice.
Twice. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
That was really bothersome.
Once per player per turn or something. But
Yeah,
so
and
yeah,
Okay.
Hawkeye, the
leadership
Hawkeye
was-
game.
Oh, I was just going to say the leadership one was similar, where it was when a minion activates against you, they activate again.
So it's like a Goblin
so-
Glider for different. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we played Hawkeye Justice against Hawkeye Justice, and it had space pirates in it, as well as the old Con of Heroes set called A New Standard. So, and this was a deck that Kennedy Hawk put together, I think purposely to kill players, because it was me and Maka and Larry and Kennedy Hawk, and we all died. It was a total party kill. Hawkeye slaughtered all of us, clearly cheating. I think we discovered later on when we took his mask off, he was really Ultron under there. But I did see some Hawkeye being played with like not that collection of modular sets, and it was much more like playable and doable, and it wasn't as difficult.
Okay, so I am up in the balcony. This is day 1 officially, Friday. Now, of course, a lot of people showed up Thursday. This is not everybody. What you have here is casual gaming going on. Some tables in the back. Obviously, the swimming pool if you're interested in swimming. Some folks have rooms like this number 2 room right there is where Maka is. Daniel's down the way. Bill's looking poolside from the 2nd floor. But then if we come upstairs and we turn around, we go into one of these rooms and we have the PvP official tournament taking place. Everybody's playing round 1. And then there's another room, doubly big as this, just available for us to play. So if you're worried about space, don't be. It's huge. Yeah, take a look. There we go. This is about 8 o'clock Friday.
Scott, there was a lot of Civil War focus like I beat up Iron Man a few times. I know that Mako was beating up Iron Man, and we took out Captain Marvel. But there was the Civil War PvP tournament, and I believe the only one of us who played in that was D Vader. So we should ask him how that went.
It was a blast. Huge shout out to TJJJJJJJJJ for setting that whole thing up. And pivoting as the night went on, and we discovered that games take a long time, and maybe we need a little bit more time to play out the rounds. But yeah, it was a great time. It was in one of those upstairs rooms, fully dedicated for people who wanted to play in the tournament. And you could either sign up with a partner or go random. And I had such a good experience at MCDC getting paired up with a random partner. Steve, that was your buddy Phil. I wanted to do a random partner again, make a new friend. And I ended up getting paired with Autumn, who some folks might remember from the last Con of Heroes brought that awesome
Loki.
epic Loki with the different heroes as villains. So we got paired up randomly. And the way it worked was everybody brought 3 hero decks. So between your 2 people on your team, you'd have 6, and you'd each present your 3 hero decks, and everybody would get one of their heroes banned. So I brought my good old-fashioned Spider-Man Peter Parker protection deck, a Wolverine leadership deck, and a Valkyrie aggression deck. And Autumn had a Rocket aggression, a Thor leadership, and a Tigra deck that I'm not sure the aspect, because Tigra and Wolverine got banned in every game that we played. So we decided
Chris,
to...
can I ask a question? Chris, I'm imagining Valkyrie was not banned.
Valkyrie was not banned. So we teamed up Thor and Valkyrie and Spider-Man and Rocket Raccoon, which was a lot of fun.
Now, did you know you were teamed up with her before so you could coordinate, or was that you found out on the day?
I found out on the day.
Ooh.
TJJJ had actually picked a partner for me ahead of time who was a no-show. So I very much on the spot. Autumn didn't have a partner. I didn't have a partner. We saw the heroes that each of us had brought, and we realized that we were both thinking very much along the same lines of just here to have a good time. And we had a great time. We ran Captain America and She-Hulk as our leaders. One of the most fun parts of the night was, the fun part about doing PvP is you can really engage with the encounter deck the other people are playing against. So we pulled out the main scheme that lets you grab 2 minions at the start. So we grabbed a shield operator, and then later on we got that target acquired or targeted strike treachery that lets you search the top 5 for another card and deal it to them. We grabbed the other shield operator, and the shield operator is like a bit of a chump of a minion. Is a 3 health 2/2, puts 2 threat on a scheme when he comes out. But throughout the entire game, those 2 shield operator minions always came out at the same time, and they were declared our boys. And anytime they showed up, we would high five and get really excited about it. So
that's funny.
It's just a game of Marvel Champions, but you do get to interact with the encounter deck a little bit, and every turn feels really impactful, and you're really coordinating exactly what the 2 of you are going to do and what kind of ideas you might have to try and trip up the enemy. And the choice of when to pull those leader cards, like very specifically in our first game we had Captain America, and he has that 3-cost card that lets you take a minion you're engaged with and put it on the other team. It's called Recruited by Cap. So we had forget who the minion was, but they were on Mad Jack's platform, and it was a very unkillable looking minion, and we just passed it to the other team, and he ended up staying up for the whole game and winning us the game. Nice. So
how far did you get in the tournament?
We lasted the whole first night. We did the first 2 rounds, and at that point it was a bit after midnight, and we heard that the next round was going to be at 9 in the morning. We looked at each other and we said, this is a lot of fun. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this at 9 in the morning, and we respectfully bowed out.
So we're going to say
a lot of the teams
you and Autumn won the whole thing. That's what
you would have won it. You would have won it, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I would say that if TJJ and Jarrett weren't the people that we had lost to in the second round, and they ended up winning the whole thing. So I don't know if we would have been able to figure out a way around them. They were bringing some crazy stuff.
So the guy that's running the tournament won the tournament?
It was a little suspicious.
Whoa.
Okay.
No, you're not suggesting anything, are you?
That's so villainous.
The corruption, it's great. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, to be fair, TJJJ was notorious in the Solo Champions League for having very high scores, and Jarrett was too. They both are very high performers when it comes to designing very clever and efficient decks. So,
Oh yeah, they were playing
not a big surprise.
such a clean game, and they've teamed up for MODOK League too, and they've been wiping the floor with
Mm,
everybody
mhm,
there
mhm,
too.
mhm.
So we had no illusions about having the most competitive team comp, but we had a great time with it regardless. If anybody hasn't tried 2v2 PvP, I highly recommend giving it at least one go. It's a really fun time.
That's great. Thanks for filling us in on that and being a representative for that PvP play. But I also want to hear a little bit about the FFG panel and the meet and greet. So, Mika, Chris, why don't you give us a little info on what was it like? I know FFG always comes, right? Usually somebody tries to come. We are further away. They still manage to come and do a whole panel and talk. So fill us in. What was that? What was the panel? What were the highlights?
Yeah, sure. So they brought in, it was all three developers, and Olivia was there, and there were a few others. Was Molly there? I think I
Molly
saw.
was there. Yep.
And there were a few other people with FFG that I'm not sure who they were.
Kate was there.
Um,
Josh Bepler was there. Oh shoot, another guy was there, and I talked to him, and I forgot your name. I'm very sorry. But folks who's listening through for the next few months, a bunch of these people who you're like, I don't know who they are. They're coming on the show, so you'll get to talk to you get to listen to them as we talk to them. So you'll find out more about them.
Yeah. So it was mainly the designers, developers up there, and Molly was kind of giving them, or not Molly, Olivia was giving them questions. Some of which, a lot of which had been submitted previously and everything. And they were generally, how do you come up with the designs? Who do you like? Why do you do this? As always with these, it's really interesting to get the insights of like their process, not just, whether it's from a creator development standpoint, because most of us haven't tried to develop games or heroes or anything like that, or the logistics of working with FFG, or previously I think they've talked about even some of the at a high level. They can't get into a lot of details about having to work through Disney and stuff like that. So I think they talked for about an hour, and they would even before then they brought a bunch of cards with them. They were signing cards, they were handing out promos. I think some of them were like from the Gen Con preview. So before it was released, they had, or full art hero cards for all the core set heroes. They were handing those out, pins, etc. So yeah, it was an interesting look and take of what goes into the design and creation process of the game that we all enjoy.
So did y'all get any extra spoilers of the new characters as well when they were, because they had all these cards, and I feel like I saw some pictures of them. With
some people
stuff, right?
got to see some of the a new hero or two. I have
Scott,
heard.
we're not allowed to say.
No, okay. They did bring 2 spoilers to show the people at the con, but because of the size and limitations, those 2 spoilers ended up on the Con of Heroes webpage. So you could go now and check out Cloak and Dagger minions who like work with each other. I think they're Justice minions. So they brought them, or they gave them to the con host, and then they're like, okay, those are now up. You can go look at them. So you could go do that. And I do want to say, I know the whole panel got recorded several times by you folks. So I suspect that at some point there will be a video where you can sit and watch them talk about everything. But Bill, you had some special interaction.
Oh yeah. So after the panel was over with, we ended up, the 3 of us, Daniel, Steve, and I, got into a game with Tony, and we were playing in the Loki. What was there, like 144 people in that event, and we got to play we got to play in, and that's probably one of the bigger ones that I've heard that's been played. That might be the biggest one so far, multiplayer event. But we played with Tony. Tony, he had signed my copy of Maria Hill, so I thought, well, I want to play with Maria Hill with my signed copy, and he whipped out Echo and played Echo, so we got a chance to play with brand new hero before she's released, and got to see a couple of cards, got to see the Nemesis minion, got to see the Obligation, and in that game, so that was a lot of fun, and enjoyed it. And Tony's a good guy, fun to play with, fun to interact with, and kind of very surreal playing with a lead game designer. So it was a lot of fun.
We told Tony we were going to do something special in that Loki game, and he was on board with us. Yeah, we said, you know what, we're not going to thwart the main scheme the entire game, and he's like, all right, let's do it. So I think we incidentally thwarted it once or twice because we just didn't have anything else to do, but we just never thwarted the main scheme on purpose. So that was pretty fun. He did give me a hard time about, and Tony, I know you're listening because clearly you were listening. I might have mentioned the whole like Moonstone meteorite name Techno Fixer, and he scolded me, or I don't know what it, I don't know how to say it, but he was like, how come you didn't tell me ahead of time? I'm like, what? I don't know your name.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
we prefer to wait and catch them in the act with their errors because we're villains. He should know.
Yeah. I prefer the judgmental scowl after the fact. Yeah.
We were talking, Steve. I would love to see Tony's list of all the errors from the show. Like, hey, you guys, you missed this, or you said this wrong.
Yeah, no kidding. Now tell me a little bit more, Bill, about this epic Loki game, because that sounds amazing and enormous. How many people again did you say? 100 and how many?
I think if we did the math right, it was like 144. I had to find out from Kennedy Hawk.
Wow.
How many actually played? Did they announce it? I didn't hear it announced.
Yeah, there you go. Ryan.
So who all played in it? Did everybody here play in it?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Worlds Collide had 72 max threat it could receive. So yeah, that's like 144 or something.
Yeah,
I think Loki started with
two per, so that's what, 36 tables.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it was big.
With 4 players, yeah.
And it was going on, and I think was it Daniel was running and telling him when we were you the runner, Daniel?
I was the runner. I took that upon myself.
So Steve's running the game. I'm just kind of in awe. I've played already now for probably a total in 2 days of 30 hours of gaming. So I was just there for the ride, just having fun. And it was just about impossible to try to tank the game. I heard that maybe some of the other minions elsewhere were trying to not thwart either, but how are you gonna how is that small percentage going to be able to take down the game? So
right, yeah,
I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, in our pod, Seth, it was you, Brian, and Alex were in our pod at least, I think.
Yeah, we were right next to you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other group from Indianapolis was on the opposite side of you guys from us. So
was that Danny, Zach, and Matt, or was that Regine,
Yep.
Will, Craig, and Mike? So shout out to all those guys that were in our group.
Yep.
It's the first time I ever played it, so it was kind of overwhelming to me, just all the buzz and activity and everything that was going on. So it's like everything was flying over my head. But no, it's fun.
Who else wants to talk a little bit about that? Like the size of it, the action, and the going back and forth. How did it feel?
Yeah, I thought
playing that big.
I thought it was great. So I mentioned this is my first con, and it was really my first time really playing with other people because at home I don't really have a group. So I'm mostly just playing solo. So one of the reasons I even wanted to go to the con was to participate in something like this, and just the energy was amazing. Like you guys were saying, in the pod that I was in. We were all shouting out if somebody had Magog in front of them. So, everyone was kind of watching for that and passing around those synergy counters. And it was so much more interactive than anything that I've had yet to experience with the game so far. It was really one of the main reasons I went to the con was to participate in something like this, and obviously a bunch of other stuff. And I got to do it right out of the gate. So it was great.
Mika has to leave. Mika, do you want a parting word?
Yeah, give us a parting highlight.
Sure. The con was great. It was amazingly well organized. Kennedy Hawk, Hone, Americano, everybody that went into it, brilliant job, and can't think of enough. Tons of fun games that I could go on for a long time on which ones I enjoyed most and having fun, and even the non-Marvel ones. Daniel teaching out a skull, although he got really upset with me when I didn't play it right the first time.
I noticed that. He
was getting annoyed with me.
I was not.
All right. But really,
I thought the friendship was over.
for me, the highlight was just being able to hang out with all the people that, we chat over Discord. Some of us were lucky enough to talk and get invited out of the podcast and stuff like that and be able to talk. But to actually get each other in person and, finally meeting Bill in person and getting games in with him and just seeing the group together, that's what it's all about.
Chris, I want your most important contribution to this con to not go unmentioned, and that is you picked Steve and me up from the airport. So thank you.
Kudos. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
very
always
much.
happy to be a taxi driver. That's
The
what I'm
bribery
gonna
will
also
not
do
go
here in a
unnoticed.
second. Taxi driver to my kids. So
You mean you didn't pick him up from
No,
home?
but Chris, thank you. It was so great to hang with you.
it was great, and I'm gonna see if somehow I can.
Saturday night, 2 a.m. The pool has quieted down. We have a few people left. Maka, Spee, Dallin, and myself just beat Juggernaut Skirmish in 3 rounds. And now it is time to sleep.
Now, what about you, Seth? What was your highlight?
So
He
actually,
is.
I think I had a few highlights, personally, but number one was obviously the multiplayer Thunderbolts that we did. I played that twice. It was a great time. Finally playing the Dung Beetle was great. But we did have a bit of a setup going into this con where I had this sort of a pipe dream where I wanted to effectively use Go All Out and like push ahead, which are the cards that let you exhaust your hero, and then they combine your stats together for either thwarting or damage. And I casually mentioned in the Discord, and I was like, I would love to like build this Ironheart deck that just those, and that's all she does. And Chris, who just jumped off, was like, I'll build an Adam Warlock deck that just gives you all the stat upgrades. And I was like, okay, that'd be fun. We'll do that. And then probably like an hour later that same day, Steve was like, yeah, I'll build a Captain Marvel deck that'll just feed you guys cards. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're doing this. We're going to do it. So we ended up doing that. I think it was Friday night, Steve, is when we decided to do that.
Yeah, look at my notes. Yeah.
I think it was Friday night, and we played against Chris's Dark Beast deck scenario, which was Dark Beast, the Savage Land started in play, and he also had the T-Rex from the Temporal set in it, and some other stuff in there. It was
Ransacked Armory and military grade.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild encounter deck. And Steve almost died on like the second turn. He got down to like 1 HP, and we thought it was bad, but it was okay. And to end the game, Ironheart lived the dream and threw a Go All Out for 36 to end the game.
We needed exactly 36, and we're like, can we pump up one more stat?
Yeah. And the even scarier part was that was the end of my deck, and I hadn't seen a Go All Out that entire deck path. And I was like, okay, I know they're coming. Like, we just have to survive. And I drew all 3 of them, and I was like, okay, obviously we're gonna win. It's no problem. And we went through that whole turn. I was like, this is no problem. And right before I went, I was like, guys, we have a problem. And they're like, what? I don't have a lightning bolt resource in my hand to cast these Go All Outs. And Steve clutched up and threw a energy channel, not energy channel. What's her energy absorption or whatever it is from Captain Marvel, the tripler?
Yeah, the 3 energy resource card under a resource reserve, so that Seth could use it to pay for his card. Yep.
That's what happened.
Awesome.
So we lived the dream. I think the base stats of Ironheart going down from like thwart to defense were like 7, 6, 7 or something like that. Something ridiculous. She had both of the upgrades in each color for like the conditioning and the vest or whatever it is. And then she also had a symbiote suit on her. And then Steve and I were both playing R&D Facility, the one that lets you pump your characters up.
Mm-hmm.
I was also playing Morale Boost, and I think I'd popped 2 of those off that turn. Like, I think that turn her thwart stat was a 17.
Chris had like Arrow and Cloud that could give you the boost, and I had the command team to like ready those characters so he could do it more than once a turn. That was definitely like, let's set this up and see how silly we could be, and it worked. That was a good one.
It absolutely worked. And it was a blast. It was everything I dreamed to be. That was the only time I played that Ironheart deck all week, and it was totally worth.
I did end up playing that Captain Marvel later on, and just doing the same thing for other people. So
now, please tell me that you had the square on your bingo card that was 30 or more damage, just so you could do that.
I don't think I did, unfortunately, which is very unfortunate.
I didn't. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great time. Like I said, it was rough goings at first. We didn't know if we were going to survive, and then all of a sudden our fortune around. It was good.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
Ryan mentioned the bingo card. Ryan, why don't you tell us about the bingo
Yeah,
card?
let's talk about that.
Oh, sure. Okay. So this was one of the shout outs because I was putting stuff together for a video that I definitely wanted to make sure that I included in that video. And that's the bingo card, which people that went last year, I think there was a similar thing. I don't know if it was done by Bananas. It might have been. And I just didn't know who Bananas was at the time. But yeah, so community member Bananas put together a bingo card and then gave out a prize that was an alt art standard with all female characters and everything. It was an incredible swag thing, and what I loved about it the most, it's beautiful. What I loved about it the most was it's a prize that you can win, and if you didn't get it, you don't feel left out because it's just standard. But if you do, it's something you can customize every game for, or you can customize every game with.
Yeah, and I think she brought like 200 sets with her or something. So like there was no reason to not be able to get one, right? Like I wasn't worried that she was gonna run out. So the bingo card had all these fun achievements. Hit for 30 damage, defend for this. I don't know, what were some of the other ones on there?
Play a deck with your hero kit and all basics. Was
Yeah.
one I saw. And then
Ooh,
usually it was
fun.
calling out different traits like play with a guardian, play with a web warrior, play with an avenger. I'm trying to think of what some of the other nice ones were. Play where everybody's playing the same aspect.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Those are fun
Yeah,
ones.
Yeah, and it's fun. Like, because I was playing the game and with some people I hadn't played with before, Anne and somebody else, and we were like ready to win. And she goes, "No, we got to get rid of all the meetings and side schemes." And I was done with I was like getting tired and hungry. I'm like, really? Why do we have to do that? She goes, "It's on my bingo card." I'm like, well, then absolutely, let's do it. Right? Like knowing it was on the bingo card, I was like all re-energized. Let's do it. So
Yeah.
and we did fill it out for her. So
As you wish.
I like too that it kind of forces you're in this fun space, right? You're in there, but it's easy to come and just be like, well, I brought decks, let's play. And that bingo card trying to go for special things really forces you out of what you might normally do into something a little bit more creative, right? Like you wouldn't normally play all protection, but I remember last year that was one of the things on my bingo card was like play a game with 4 protection players. It was like, okay, let's do it. Like this is not how you would normally want to play a game, but like we're gonna get it done, and it kind of forces you out of your normal mindset. So that's really cool. I love that Bananas did that again. That's huge.
Yeah, I think one of the sillier ones squares that was on the bingo card was break the unique rule. And I think during our second playthrough of the Thunderbolt scenario, when I was playing Black Widow, I had a Winter Soldier out, and Bill went to play a Winter Soldier, and I was like, oh, this is a problem. Oh, it's not a problem anymore. It's on the bingo card. We're good. Let's go.
Let's go. And I finished up my bingo card at like 2:00 in the morning, but I didn't go knock on Bananas' door to get my. I waited till the next day. But that game that Ken and I played till like 2, that's finished out my bingo card. So I was like, we gotta finish this game, guys.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Now, anybody else have any big highlights from the bingo sheet that they wanted to share?
not from the bingo.
I would like to thank Seth for giving me the deck that allowed me to get my bingo, which was playing a hero with all basic.
That's
Thanks, Seth.
right. That's right. Absolutely. It was a good time.
And it was a really good deck.
Yeah, we had to make some slight modifications, and unfortunately, you didn't get the best version of that deck, which was leveraging the pool aspect basically for the rock paper scissors card, because it was a magic.
Okay.
It was a magic deck, but I'm glad it worked out, and it turns out it was probably still really good because Mystics are busted.
Yeah.
Now,
So the bingo thing gave us some alt art cards, but there was a ton of alt art stuff out there. The community was just like super generous, giving things away. A ton of fun. I got a lot of cool stuff. Did you guys get anything specific you really liked?
Well, I had the pleasure of playing with Charred Gambit, and after that game, he gave me a alt art Wonder Man, that's really, really good. And that game even stands out just because I watched another person play Thor, where they were just collecting people and then like bring it on, draw 8 cards, wipe them all out. It was the funnest game of Red Skull I've ever played.
Nice. Yeah, I think I got a Wonder Man from him as well. Like, who was the guy? Like, right when you walked in, there was the con gave us a pack of cards for the convention, as well as a first player token, and you chose Hawkeye or Spider-Man, right? Registration and Resistance.
Right.
Winning Hand gave you a pack of X-Men cards. There was another guy standing there who
Garrett.
gave
Garrett.
you, yeah, and he gave you a little black pack, and those were some fun. Chris Make It dropped off, but he opened his pack and got like 3 different Nightcrawlers, and then was
Yep.
like, all right, I guess I need to get every Nightcrawler out there, and there was like 6 alt art Nightcrawlers floating around, I guess.
Yeah,
So,
I think my final count was like I think 7 because I was looking at the ones Bill posted and we only had like 2 like overlaps and I have like 5 different Nightcrawlers.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
Wow.
It's a lot of Nightcrawler. Oh, I got a really sweet Savage Land Rogue alternate art hero that is probably my favorite alternate art I've ever seen. I didn't even want to take it from whoever had it, but he was like, "No, please take it." I'm like, "Okay, I'm taking it."
That was
Not gonna fight him.
from the Brant and the guys doing the Assemble. It's not Assemble Con, but I'm going to call it Assemble Con because it's a con up in Connecticut. So the Brant and the Step into the Portal guys, they were handing out a ton of neat alt arts with like a QR code tucked in the sleeve, and if you scan the code, it brings you to their webpage so you can join the Assemble Con. Yeah, I got a Winter Soldier from them. It was really nice looking, but I did see that Rogue one and almost it was a debate. So,
Yeah. I'm glad
I had
you didn't
Winter
take
Soldier
it.
with me, so I took the Winter Soldier so I could play it right that day. So, and a shout out to Sandy for the oversized cards.
Oh,
And,
those are great.
And then this year he had like you could pre-sign up for a foil version, and he gave you foil like totally free. You're like, take some money, and he's like, no, I don't want any money. And you're like, oh my god. So yeah, I picked up a really awesome pair of Black Widow and Winter Soldier that just look so cool. Like one
Those
for
were
me, one
cool.
for my son. Yeah, I'm like, all right, I gotta make these decks and stuff. So
Yeah, and I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up. During the raffle, my raffle prize was a sealed pack that was just 5 variants of Deadpool, one of which has no relevant game text on it. One
Like a
side is
meme
just, like,
card.
one side is just Deadpool like talking about how you got this meme deck or this meme pack, and the other side, I thought it was the text he has for his interrupt, but it's just saying when you would open up a winning hand pack, instead open up a Deadpool pack. And
Nice.
shout out to Corbin, because Corbin's the one that made it, and I imagine he probably did a lot of stuff that people love.
yeah, there was just a lot going around. You sort of had to like keep your eyes open and
That was the pack that I got when I walked in the door and Boom Guy handed it to me. It was the 5 and I got to thinking after the fact. So I did want to bring like 5 of one character in all the aspects, and I brought X-23. I wish I would have brought Deadpool now, because if I could have played with all those different alt arts with Deadpool. But it was cool. There's like the meme card in there.
Bill, we didn't have one game where your metacidal tendencies or Dreadpool whatever card impacted me. It was a good con. It was a good con. Yeah.
Almost
Somebody
good.
else did it to me, but wasn't you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nice to you this time.
Yeah, my favorite alt art was recently Scarlet Witch has become the Sorcerer Supreme, and I love the look they did with her. She's wearing the Cloak of Levitation as a skirt, and Band of Sirens made a beautiful Sorcerer Supreme card. And rather than just giving it away, he announced that he was going to be taking donations for the Wilson Foundation to help support people impacted by Operation Metro Surge in the area. And while the card was outstanding, what was even better was the community response to that. The line was all the way to the back of the room. Band of Sirens was totally overwhelmed by how many people were throwing cash his way and making really generous donations. So shout out to Band of Sirens for making that happen, and shout out to this amazing community for raising almost $2,000 on that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, did we ever get a final total on that? Looks like almost 2,000. That's really good. And I do believe there was an organization that was matching donations, if I remember right too. So basically double that.
Yep, all that money's getting doubled.
Ben Center was going to join us tonight. I don't know what happened, but he's going to send me some information. I'll put up a link in our show notes, and if you're watching on YouTube, and so you can go and make a donation yourselves. I don't know how the card thing will work. We did end up getting an extra one, so we can send one out to one of our listeners if you make a donation and send us, let us know you did it, to take a screenshot or something. We'll send one to one listener, maybe the first one who tells us they did it, and we'll make sure you get a card too. So it's a good cause. Go donate.
Now, I also saw that there was alt art for resources for some of the different
Yeah.
heroes and things, right?
Yeah, so the ones that I got, we got those on Saturday night, and I forget who is doing them, but they are full art, textless resources, and I will upload some pictures when I can to the Google Drive.
And
I
they're
got mine
all
from
Scarlet
Astrodar.
Witch themed, right?
Well,
There's
there's like I think they said there were like 5 different ones. So there was the Scarlet Witch set.
I took the Scarlet Witch.
That's what I
one,
was
yeah.
wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a Scarlet Witch set, and then I got a Captain Marvel set, which is very, very good. And then my buddy Alex, who donates all of his swag because I'm the one that bought into the game, he got a Wasp set. So I will upload pictures of those when I can, but they're absolutely stunning. There's literally nothing on that card that's not art except the resource icon. They're absolutely cool.
Totally.
yeah. I got a
Totally
Miss
wonderful.
Marvel one they look great.
That was another one.
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
Miss Marvel
say,
one.
I think Mako had the Miss Marvel too. He posted those, so I got to see those.
Astrodar was handing those out. That's
Is
where I
that who
got
it was?
mine
It was
from.
Astrodar?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you, Astrodar.
Indeed. Steve, we should have asked for a complete set of those to give away.
I know, right? Astrodar, are you
Seriously.
listening?
If you're listening,
Now, Seth, you got to slide out, right? So,
Yeah, I'm gonna
do you
slide
wanna
out of
give
here.
us your any other final highlights before you take off for the evening?
We had a really great dinner on Saturday night with the guys.
Oh, yes.
All of us kind of met up in the hotel restaurant right there, which again was literally on the other side of the wall of the convention space. So it was 10 steps to go get some food, 10 steps to keep going playing games. Had a really nice dinner, hung out with the guys, talked everything that was not Marvel Champions for the most part. But no, I thought this con to me it was the best yet. And I think the new
That's
space
great to
really
hear.
did a lot. Really did a lot for that. It didn't feel as rigid and as regimented as previous cons, just because we didn't have any sort of store hours that we were trying to work around and say, can we do this? Can we do that? We only have 12 hours here today. What can we do? You could get up as early as you want and go sit at a table and play Marvel Champions or any other game for that matter for as long as you wanted to, and you didn't even have to leave the hotel you were sleeping at. So I thought that was a big plus. And I'm hoping that it goes back there again because it was just a really wonderful venue and it felt the best. So and it was nice to meet everybody in person finally. I know I'd met a few of you in previous years, but it was nice to really meet a lot of people and put names to faces and then real names to Discord names. So I'm looking forward to next year.
Yeah, me too. It was great seeing you, Seth.
Yeah,
It was great seeing you guys. This minion's out. He's got to fix a lot of TVs tomorrow, and by fix, I mean set up the Critical Encounters Mojo TV feed so we can brainwash people.
Excellent. Good.
Thank you.
Get
Good
back
work,
to
sir.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Take care,
Seth.
Good night.
So speaking of meeting people, I just went through my list, and if we don't count the guys in the games in the epic Loki that were like in our pod but in the nearby games, I played with 24 different unique people. So which I think is a lot. It feels like a lot of people to play with. So
That's great.
Yeah, that's absolutely a lot.
and then I did play with the folks that are on here, multiple times. A lot of games with Daniel and Mika and Bill, which is just a ton of fun. Like that's my highlight. I think all those sit down and like, what do you want to play? It's Bill. Let's play. Like just playing with everybody that from online the whole time.
I think too, like the knowing each other as we do online and on Discord and stuff is really interesting. And I think that allowed for my highlight of the weekend, which had nothing to do with Marvel Champions. And I mentioned this with the people at the dinner that Seth just referenced, but after one of the games, D Vader and Ken and Bill and I just had a really incredible, real conversation about life and adulting and like purpose and meaning. And it was just such a beautiful, like 20 minutes in like the middle of the swarm of con stuff happening around us. And we had this just sort of quiet and reflective moment. And like, that will always be the thing that I remember most and take away most actually from this con. So Bill, Chris, Ken, I want to thank you once again for that combo, because that just really kind of inspired me the rest of the way through the con. So cheers.
Yeah, that was good times. Shared a lot.
Yep, for
right?
sure.
Yeah, I really appreciated being in that conversation. Thanks, guys.
Well,
It was all
it
about-
started
it was all
out
about-
talking about you. Yeah.
You were the
moved on
main
after
topic
that.
of conversation.
Ugh.
But yeah,
And that's
it's great
what,
to just connect with people as people, both in and
Yeah.
outside the game. It's a wonderful experience to have.
And going in, that was kind of like, what do you want to get out of this event? And so I really wanted to meet Chris, D. Vader, Meka face to face. Obviously, Steve and Daniel, first time face to face. Steve and I have been playing Tuesday Night Twitch now for like 3 years, and finally, after all this time, we get to actually see each other face to face. And
Yeah, sorry that you had to look at me, Bill.
yeah, sorry to see that. Daniel, of course, getting that hug from Daniel when I first walked in the door. First person I saw was Meka and Daniel sitting there at the table. Of course, Ken, Shabi, Seth, getting to play games with Eric and Larry. And then we kind of adopted Mark. He was there for much of the time. He doesn't listen to podcasts. We kind of had our little Critical Encounters corner there that we were sitting at, and Mark just kind of like jumped in and played I probably played like 4 or 5 games with Mark. And then Mark, if you're out there, if you finally listen to a podcast, I hope you found your stuff that you were missing. So,
No.
Oh boy, yeah.
but yeah, it was just and then being able to hang out with Ryan and Romeo, and getting to meet content creators that I'd been listening to for years, like Dan. I wish I could have got a game in with Dan and Joss Saru and Brant, but they'll be at the next one, and I'm going to make a point to get with those guys. And Boom Guy, Astrodar, I didn't get to play with those guys, so there's a little bit of regret there, but I can't regret playing the games that I did. We played for many hours of games, and everybody that I wanted to truly that I talk to on a regular basis, like we have our Discord where we hang out. There's not a week that goes by I don't talk to Daniel. There's not hardly a day that goes by that I don't interact with Steve. And so
Right.
these people that I talk to on a regular basis are the ones that I really wanted to hang out with and gel with, and we absolutely did, and we had a lot of fun. I did, and I know you guys did too. So that's what this con was for me, was just connecting with friends that I talk to and hang out with all the time. So thanks, guys, for making it special, by the way.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Back at you, Bill.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks for
Well, it's
being
one of
there.
those things. There were almost 200 people there, right?
oh,
More.
more than that?
More,
Yeah,
over 200.
I think so.
Yeah, you can't play with
I think they
everybody.
sold over
Right.
200. And it was like 240 tickets or something. I don't know if everybody showed up at all the same time. But yeah, it was great because like Ken's first one is like, who's Ken? Oh, there's Ken. He's with us, and he's with us the rest of the time. And then other people or you see, and there's a ton of people that like there's just not enough time to play a game with everybody, but there's time to talk with folks you want to talk to and say hi or grab some food or do something like that, right? Like Ryan, you left to go home to eat, so you even got family time,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, I
which
did. It
is
was beautiful.
some peace and quiet, and then come back and deal with the rest of
Yeah.
us, right? Like,
Yeah, get
Yeah.
my battery recharged. As I was driving, because it was like a 20-minute drive home, and I was like, "Am I going to go back?" Because at that point it was like 5:30, and then 6 o'clock rolled around. I was like, "I'm back, baby. I'm going to go," and I just helped me to push through the remainder of the night. And I think it also just allowed me to not get sick because I wasn't just pushing myself for
Sure.
18 hours straight.
yeah, Daniel, we played a few other games, which was a nice. Like, I feel like there was enough space this time to bust out Skull or The Gang, which was a new game to me.
Well,
or
that
any
quiet
like little
room was really
Yeah,
helpful for that.
any little
Um,
party game you could totally bring to this and just like switch gears or flip your brain to something different, which
and
was
I
really nice.
and I appreciated the amount of people that were up for that. I thought that would be a fun thing to do. I mean, it's like getting at 11 p.m. and you're like, 28 games of Marvel later. I could maybe do something else. So that was cool.
It was a perfect palate cleanser, and I loved learning that you're a lethal Skull player, Daniel.
Just to put it out there, I did win the first game of
Chris,
Skull.
did
we
I
played
ever
against.
lie? Did I ever
No,
lie?
if
No,
you're
he
ever
doesn't.
playing Skull with Daniel, he never lies.
You just have to ask him the right question. So.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
the right question is that a skull? Or I
Right.
will just flat out say, you can choose me. This is safe. Or I'll say, don't pick me. So,
And sometimes they'll say, I can't tell you.
which basically is a way of saying, don't pick me. But yeah, no, that was great. I'm so grateful for the folks that played Skull with us because it's just such a different game and a lot of fun. And then co-op
Poker.
Texas Hold'em, the gang
poker
is
was weird.
funny too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to, Brian, I want to publicly apologize to you for not looking like you thought I would.
No.
I'm
No.
sorry.
I-
You had an image of me so instantly flouted. Scott, you would love this. Ryan, before he even said hi to me, said, "Oh my God, you don't look anything like I thought you would."
No. Yeah, I guess I just assume that every podcaster looks like the guys that worked at my comic book store in the mid 2000s, just like lengthy hair, just kind of what's up, man. And yeah, I was wrong. I was just wrong, and I admit that.
It's past life.
I mean, have you never listened to the show where we talk about how old and bald we are? I mean,
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. I think I even said I assumed you were like 35, and I don't know where I got that from. I just that's what was in my head.
Yeah, double that.
35 in heart.
Pretty good.
golly.
I think we got one topic left in this because I forgot to mention it before. The playmats this year were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody get a playmat? Because that was the only, maybe
Did
the
everyone
only
get the one
negative.
they wanted?
Right. There were maybe not enough playmats, but they had
I
to kind
didn't
of make
get one.
decisions. Okay.
I didn't get one, but Daniel won one in the raffle, and he generously donated it to me.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I did get
Oh,
one.
that's very sweet.
That was really nice of me, wasn't it? Can I have it back?
Does it have a tracker on it, Daniel?
Way better.
I lost
No.
every game I played using it, but it was great.
Oh,
There was
perfect.
that was my villainous hope.
It was the
Um,
Black Panther with the crotch shot.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that
was
one,
like,
yeah.
oh, Spread Eagle.
And Ken was playing Black Panther, so I'm like, well, this belongs to you, man. I
Yeah,
didn't bring
worked
a
it.
Black Panther deck. So
Now the con ones were like Civil War leaders, right? Including Spider-Man and Hawkeye. I thought they were great. They were really nice. I
Stitching,
did get one. So.
Really nice stitching around the edges that the actual image like bled into the
Chris,
the
nice
edge.
picture. Sorry.
That's very distracting.
He's got it covered up.
Sorry,
But,
you were saying, Bill.
But yeah, well, I noticed. So Steve and I went through the line at the same time. We both grabbed the same one. I was like, well, I'm gonna be playing with Steve. I don't want to have the same mat as Steve the whole time. And I also, because I was going back and forth, I was kind of like wanting to get the Vision mat. And then later on, I went up to Kennedy Hawk. I said, "You care if I swap?" And he was like, "No problem. You know, I'll take because the Spider-Man ran out really quickly. A lot of people wanted the Spider-Man one, and V. Jackson was there, and that's the one that he really, really wanted. So we just made a trade on the spot. So I was happy to be able to, because it really didn't matter to me, but I didn't want somebody that really, really wanted to not get what he wanted. So that was
one of all of them.
rewarding.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I know. Yeah, I would have totally donated for all of them.
Except for the
They were all
Hawkeye one.
hell
Forget
of
Hawkeye.
Except for the Iron Man one.
That's the one I took, Daniel. Iron Man.
I know.
So that every game we played, you had to look at Iron Man.
Oh, you got the Iron Man one. Who got the Spider-Man? I think it was Maka. I knew I was going to be
Shmi and
playing a lot of
Maka
games
both,
with
I
Maka.
think.
Both did.
Yeah.
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 So I was like, I don't want to be the same. And nobody wanted Vision. Right? No, I'm just kidding.
That
was my
I think it was the last one.
I'm sure at
so,
least
but-
one person wanted Vision.
Yeah. I want a Spider Woman. Got her. So pleased by that.
All right. Well, we've been running for a little while. I probably looped the photos 15 times.
Well, let's give D. Vader and our masked hero and Ken and Bill a moment here for a final reflection.
Yes. Let's start with Bill. Give us your final reflection, please.
Yeah, I kind of hit the highlights earlier when I talked about getting with everybody, but this is I mentioned it that I love playing Marvel Champions. It's my favorite game. I play it all the time, but the community is what I like even more. And this con really cemented that for me. Getting to see how kind and inviting everybody is, and being able to visit with everyone, shake hands with people, thank people, be able to sit down and play games across the table and make connections that we're planning later on. Like trying to get with Eric later on, maybe the Brant, and get some games in with them later on. Looking forward to that. Enjoyed our meals when we went out to Wooden Hill Brewery, and getting to know Antonio and Charlie and Nate. They were like the first guys that grabbed me when I walked in the door and said, "Let's play a game." And then right after the game, we went out to Taco Libre right across the street, and ate a bunch of grease right out of the gate. And
they had that machete taco that was like 18 inches long. One taco that was excellent. Yeah. Yep.
And then, so sitting down with people that I didn't know before and playing games and just being able to have that in common, and then go further. Who are you? Where are you from? How long have you been playing? Just that opening up conversations that were just, I'll remember forever, right? And then the game second. So that was my takeaway, was the peeps, everybody that we hung out with.
It sounds like Bill also collected a lot of credit card and social security numbers and names of first pets and stuff like that for our hacking division, right? So
yes, yep, got a lot of intel. Was able to collect a lot.
Got some data mining. Excellent.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So that's my sappy answer. Is love everybody.
I love everybody too, Bill. I love you. Now, Ken, what about you? What about your highlight?
Yeah, like I said, I don't often, or I haven't really ever really gotten a chance to play a lot of the multiplayer aspects of the game. So that was really what I was going for. So the epic Loki we talked about was great. I got to play Kang with Bill. Bill, I think how many times you play Kang?
Yeah, I never did get the multi-table King going.
That's next year. We'll work it out.
I was going to try that, but yeah, and then so we went up to the room to play Kang, and we already had like a whole table full, and so Ken, he kind of waited behind. And sorry, I'm just kind of jumping in here, Ken, but I was
that's
like,
all right.
Hey, there's Ken and there's Kennedy, and these guys both like Hawkeye. So how did that game go? Ken?
Yeah, there you go. I was about to say I also got to play a double Hawkeye game with Kennedy Hawk. We won if you count skirmish, with retroactively skirmish game as a win, and we won. So that was great. But I mean, also for me, I've kind of flew into the city, didn't know anybody who was going outside of you folks who I had just chatted with on Discord, and even that was all relatively recent. So I'm not one to much get out of my comfort zone, but you guys certainly encouraged me to do that, which I was nervous about going in, but it was great meeting you guys. Was fantastic, and just getting to play with people and connect with people. It was amazing. So I just wanted to say thanks to everybody here for welcoming somebody in out of the blue like that. It made a huge difference to me. I had an amazing time. It was great. I can't wait to do it again.
Awesome. Thank you, Ken.
Amazing.
Glad you were there. Glad you made it.
Yeah, it's great meeting you.
What about you, D-Vader? What's your highlight? Final comment.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a big lift. I know it is for everybody who's not local. Getting all the time off organized, saving up for flights and hotel rooms and gas mileage. But going into it, you're always like, is this really worth it? And then you're there, and you're absolutely 1,000 times worth it. Highlight of the year, not just getting to play the game so much, because we can do that at home, but like everybody said, it's really the people that make it special. Staying up late into the night, rushing down a Red Skull campaign with some of the guys from the Winning Hand, getting an early Thunderbolts game with you guys. It's the interactions with the people that make the best memories and make the con special for what it is. So I'll do my best to be back next year and see you all again.
And Chris, will we see you in the DMV in October?
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic.
What about you, Ryan?
First of all, I definitely appreciate the Critical Encounters crew for just giving me a place to rest my head whenever I needed to during the convention. But I'll also say, just getting a chance, I played with Andy N, who we've mentioned before, did the Mr. Negative. He gave me a Mr. Negative copy on the last day, but I played with him, and our game was the Tech Bros. So it was Rocket, Shuri, Ant-Man, and Iron Man. That was a unspoken highlight thus far. And then I got to play with Andy R and Boom Guy, so that I got to have the all hands on deck reunion game, which was nice. And then I'd say the other one that I kind of forgot to mention was I got to actually twice do the mod set that we will be seeing at Assemble. Well, we will be seeing you all. Anybody who's going will be seeing at Assemble. I don't know if I'll be making it up to Connecticut, but that was fun. Not necessarily what I would always look forward to, and I don't want to spoil it, but it was still fun regardless.
I was in that game with you at the end. At
Yeah,
least once.
well, you were my second one. I actually played with Brant in one. Trying to think if there was anybody. I don't know if I knew the other two people at the table.
Comment. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It had to do with zombies. We'll just say that.
Okay. Yeah, and it was Marvel Zombie themed.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was good.
Yeah, it was what you would expect from Marvel Zombies. So it was good.
Well, that's really cool. That sounds like a blast.
And Scott, hopefully next time we won't have the caveat of it was a good con, considering Scott wasn't there.
Oh, thank you. I am not needed for everyone to have a wonderful, wonderful time, and I'm delighted that that's the case because that would be a terrible burden. What about? I know we got highlights from all of our minions and friends, but what about Daniel and Steve? I want to know what were your highlights. Daniel,
well,
tell me.
I shared mine. That conversation, but also just, man, it's just so cool to be reminded why this community is just so awesome and how generous and funny and good natured and compassionate. Like, I really think Aaron and the Sorcerer Supreme charity thing, like that to me, like speaks to who we are as a community. Like when he stood up and he talked about what it was for, and just the immediate, like everyone kind of walking up to him and lining up and queuing up to contribute. I just think is like, it speaks volumes about the community and who we are. And it's just so great to be reminded why we villainous podcasters actually genuinely love the game we play and the people we play it with and the people we get to meet. So
I think
it was phenomenal.
I think there is something special about getting to come together in such a huge group, right? And share the love of this, game together, but also to have those moments, reminders of that this is a community we love, not just because we all love the game, but because they are caring, like compassionate people who really care about meaningful things too.
Yep.
Right. Not that the game is not meaningful, but these are people who really do care about the big stuff, and that we can share the big stuff too, even in this community, and not, and do it respectfully and kindly with one another. And I think that's great. That's like being able to get that while you're there at the con is so cool.
Absolutely.
Steve, what about you?
Okay, I'm just gonna hit a couple quick ones. I really was happy that people enjoyed playing the Thunderbolts because I wasn't sure about that. And then when people said, let's do it again, I'm like, great, it worked. Let's play it again. So that was fun. I had a good time. I brought a Mach 4 custom hero that I made because, it's a Thunderbolt gone good. That was fun. And just having people say, when you'd say, hey, can I play this custom hero that I made that you have no idea what it does or how powerful it might be? And everybody's like, yeah, sure, I don't care. Go for it. Like everybody was so welcoming and accommodating and be like, let's give it a try. I even played my Gandalf deck, Daniel, that I made way back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You should have brought him to the PvP tournament.
Yeah, right. Actually, I think Mach 4 is maybe a little underpowered because I tried to go that direction and the other way. Playing with everybody, seeing everybody, having like all those games with like all those people was obviously the highlight. But I really just want to say thank you to the convention hosts. So we'll start with Kennedy Hawk. He seems to get the most shout outs because he puts himself on the microphone and he is up front, and I know he's doing a ton of work. But beyond Kennedy Hawk, Americano is there doing things, Hone is doing things, and Mag is doing things. So, and then I spoke to Kennedy Hawk for a few minutes, and there's another crew, like another 6 people who help them with one thing or another, some food thing or this thing or one thing, or let them ship something to them. These guys do not live in that city. So they're like Kenny Hawk lives in Arizona or New Mexico or something like that. So he's organizing this event from halfway across the country, right? So what I want to do is I want to say to folks out there who feel like they have missed out, right? They've got some FOMO because they didn't go to the con. Go to your local game store, put up a sign, talk to the people, say, hey, I want to do a Marvel Monday nights or a whatever night it might be. It's not hard to do. You can get a crew going. You put up a sign, people selling stuff. Ask your store, hey, do you sell these packs to someone other than me or my group? I bet they do. And if Kenny Hawk and Hone and Mag and Americano can do this from halfway across the country, you can do this from halfway across the town that you live in. So go host a game, get a game night going at your local store, and then build our community of all these great people. Because you've been listening for an hour, like, man, I so missed out on this. You don't need to. Go do it. You could do it. You could do it. We're there for you. So,
Yeah, that's something that I think might have been mentioned during the FFG panel, was that Marvel Champions is like their game that has the most community events, whether it be these conventions or in-store stuff, which it's kind of hard to see if you're not in the stores, but I believe it. I see we have it here in Minneapolis, and obviously we've already got 4 conventions a year going.
Yeah, I was trying to get a game in with Jossia last night, and he was like, nope, headed out to the local and saw pictures. There's like probably about at least 8 people playing there in Kentucky.
That's great.
So, yeah. I'm like, yeah, do it live. That's unfortunately he had to miss out too this time.
He did. Yeah, all the folks from the Holler, most of them were not able to make it, sadly.
Correct. Yep.
So Scott, let me ask you, was there some kind of like, the folks, the left behind, did you all get together in some way?
Well, there might be an episode come out for those for at least a couple of us who weren't able to come. But I am also excited, which I think there's news out there. There's going to be the Alter Ego Con coming up here in August for individuals who maybe can't travel but want to participate and have that sort of con experience digitally online. So look for that in the Discords. I think Kennedy Hawk is working with his various
Astrodar,
partners in crime. Astrodar. Okay.
Astrodar. Yep. August 15th and 16th. Free virtual convention. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
We'll post something to look forward to if you can't make it to any of the other marvelous conventions or events that are happening.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. All right, gentlemen?
Please do.
All right.
Please do. This is great.
Were you at the con? Do you want to say something? Do you want to
Sunday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. We still have a lot of people here at 4 o'clock. You got all kinds of games.
All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. All right, gentlemen?
Please do.
All right.
Please do. This is great.
Were you at the con? Do you want to say something? Do you want to reach out? You have questions whatever it is.
Give us your highlights.
Yes, talk to us. Or lowlights. Send them to us too.
Or
so
lowlights.
We can, if there's somebody we got to send the hit squad after, we'll help you out. You can email us at criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. We're Critical Encounters on Facebook, and you can find our YouTube, Twitch, or Patreon by searching for Critical Encounters Podcast. And on Discord, we are Vardane, Big Fun Love, Lexicon, Board Game Lawyer, Masked Hero, D-Vader, Ken, Regal Games TV, Maka, and the entire Con of Heroes 2026 crew. If you like our show, tell your friends. If you don't like our show, tell your enemies. Loki, take us out.
I am the echo of a scream. I am the magpie who whispers. I am the crime that will not be forgiven.
All right, Thursday night, we've got Maka and the Board Game Lawyer. How's it going, guys? Tired? What time is it?
Not even.
It's like
it is 11:40 Central Time.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
I woke up at 2 a.m. Central Time, and I'm willing to go a whole 24 hours. Ready?
Let's do it.